Hey, I'm Memphis, I'm a shaman, and I wanted to do a video today about ways to cleanse your energy, cleanse your space. Um, this is especially, this is necessary for anyone who does energy work or who does healing work, but it can also be helpful for people who don't do this, and they just deal with a lot of people in their lives that are demanding of their time, of their energy, or who are just toxic and they have to deal with them, like they're a family member or they're a coworker, that kind of thing. So the very first tip I'm going to share with you is set boundaries. Learn how to say no, learn how to stick to no. Expect people to try and cross your boundaries, and train yourself to always to keep holding them, keep holding them. Don't give people the benefit of the doubt when they're showing you who they really are, or if you have a feeling that something with their intentions isn't really clear, or what they're saying doesn't really match what you feel about what they're, trust that. You're not hurting someone else by saying no. And if they try to make you feel like they are, that's on them, that's not on you. So that would be the very, very first thing. And the more that you do healing work, for those of you out there who do, the more you're going to attract the people to you that need work specifically from you. And then along with them, you will attract people who are just energy vampires. They just want to feed off your energy. They will come across like they feel entitled to your time. And if you have hang-ups about your own self-worth, if you have hang-ups like you feel like you have to save someone, or you feel like you shouldn't charge for things because you have money issues or whatever, you need to also take the time to work on that and to recognize what is your stuff that you're carrying with you from other experiences in your life, and learn to set that aside and not allow that to make you a target for other people. So that would be the very, very first tip. Believe me, I learned the hard way how to set and hold boundaries. And now that I have a mother-in-law who's a piece of work, it's been very, very helpful. So the second one is sage and Palo Santo. Now, people use these to cleanse their space, to cleanse their own energy. And that's really, really good. But what people don't realize is that you're not actually cleansing anything. It transforms energy that is neutral or more negative into positive energy. So you're not actually clearing anything away, you're raising the vibration, you're bringing it up. So this is really good for when you're tired, or you had a bad day and then you have to work in service to someone else, or you just want to let all of that go. These would be good for that, because you don't necessarily want to, you might not always want to take the energy away that is there, you just want to bring it upwards. For me personally, most of my clients I see in the evenings, because I have another business and I have 2 kids. So that's just the best time for me to be able to be available to others. So I'm very often either a little run down or had a bad day, and cleansing myself with sage really helps bring me up and prepare me for the work that I have to do, and helps me to put my ego off to the side, put everything else off to the side, and really be there for that person. The other thing is, the room that I work in has my altar, and my altar has this buildup of energy that I have intentionally put into it. I pray there, I give my heart there. I don't want to take that energy away. I don't want to remove it from my space, but I can bring it up. So for those, sage and the Palo Santo are really good. The other cleansing agent is Florida water. This is really good for when you're working with someone who's passed on, because then you want them to go, you want them to leave when you're done working with them. It's also good for any kind of spirit work, even with angels. You don't necessarily want spiritual entities always around you unless they're your own personal guides. Also, if I do energy healing, like trance healing on someone else, or they're having I'm in a session with someone who it was really, really rough. Like, what came up for them and what we had to work through was extremely traumatic. The proxy that I will use, if it's a distance session, or the table that I will have them sit on, if it's not, I will use Florida water to clean that, because it gets rid of all of that energy that they carried with them into that session and then released in the whole process of it. And the same with spirits also. It can be very hard. It's easy to call them in. It's a little harder to work with them while you have them, but it's most difficult to send them home. And so this also really helps with that, especially if you're newer to it, and you're still learning how to do these things. You can put this in the corners of the room. If you did channeling, you might want to put some on your fingers, put it on anything that you sit on, or if you saw the spirit or felt it in a certain area, you can put the Florida water on that area too. And you don't need a whole lot. Like, I have this little bottle, and this is, as you can see, it's barely been used. Like, there's barely any left, but I've been using this for months. And my old bottle, it took me years to get there. You really don't need a whole lot. So those are very helpful. Then there's also, of course, to close down every day. When you're not working, when you are working, of course, you have to be open. You have to be able to receive. You have to be vulnerable, and allow that other person to be vulnerable with you. But then when you're not working, you can close down, and I've got a video on that that I will link in the bottom. But basically what I mean by close down is you close all of your chakras. Your chakras are the energy points that your psychic senses operate through. So if you're open, you're receiving this information and this energy not only through your own senses and your physical body, but through your energy points as well. If you don't want that, if that's not the point of what you're doing, close them down. You're not going to hurt yourself or anyone else. And then you keep your energy to yourself, and then it makes it that much harder for the other people around you who might be trying to poke at you and get at you to be able to affect you, because you're not open. They might be coming like this, but you're not going back at them like that. It just becomes a one-way street. And if you do have someone that is like an energy vampire and they're intentionally trying to get at you, not only can you close down, but you can also put like a shield up. So for me, what I always do is I'll touch my heart, because I used to have a charm that I would wear, and I would always like to keep it tucked in my bra. So I would like touch that. And when I do that, I'm imagining this pink ray going all around me like this bubble. So it's holding in love for myself and for others. But then there's this very hard wall, this clear, like almost like it's glass, like it's a glass egg around me. So the stuff can't go in, and what I'm feeling can't go out. So if you need to do that also, you can. And for clearing your space, there is an energy technique as well, that kind of goes along with that I also have a video too. So I will link that in the description also. But that's a banishing ritual, and you're basically asking anything to leave, that's in your space to leave, and it has to leave, because you're calling in angels. And when angels put their foot down, then that's how the spirit world works. Everything below them has to go. So that's good for that. And you don't want to do a banishing ritual in a space where you have energy that you're intentionally building up. So you might not want to do it in a room where your altar is, unless you're gonna I'll direct one corner away from the altar, and I just I use it so often that whatever is cleansed out in that process is fine. But if you really want to hold on to what is there, don't do it in that room. Move the altar out and then do the clearing and bring it back in, or something like that. Or maybe do your healing work in a room that's separate from your altar if you can. I personally don't have the space to make that choice, but if you do, awesome. So another thing that you could do is crystals, of course. I love crystals. I don't even know what half of them do. I really don't. I have ideas, but they're so beautiful and they make me feel so good that I've got them everywhere, like literally everywhere. Every room in the house has them, even the kids' room. They've got tourmaline under their bed. I've got it everywhere. So tourmaline, to start, black tourmaline will absorb energy that is negative, which is why it's under their bed. So if they have nightmares, if they're feeling bad, that can just get just sucked right in. And you don't have to do anything with that. You don't have to program them for that. Because with tourmaline, they're one of those stones that are self-operating and they're self-cleaning. So there's really no point in telling them what to do. They're just going to do it. That's one. Another one that is self-cleaning is selenite. So I've got a big bag. I use this so much, I've got a big bag of them. I will set these, I'll use them around my altar for journey circle. I will set them on around the space when I have clients, even distance clients. I still prepare a space for them as if they're physically coming into the room with me, because they are. Even if it's not their actual bodies, I am connected to their energy, and they in turn are connected to mine. And I want to honor that and behave as if they're actually in the room with me. So I'll lay these out around the table that I'll set up for them, around the space I'll set up for them. I also keep some in my bedroom, and whenever I take off any jewelry that's a real stone, I'll lay these out, and I'll set like my rings or my necklaces or whatever in between them, and then they will clear any energy out from either me or other people that I had to deal with that day. So that's good to do, especially if you had a bad day. Then it's really good to do, because then you're not taking that with you. So with Herkimer Diamond, this is an enhancer. It enhances any other stone that it's near. So this one I actually sleep with. They're also very, very good for dreams. I programmed this one to help me remember all of my dreams. So if I get messages in dreams, when I wake up, I write it down, and this helps me to recall things. Also under my bed, I sleep with a Lemurian quartz. It just makes me feel good. I can't really tell you any more other than that. The few times that I have journeyed and seen the Lemurian people, they're always around these. And so it makes me think of them, and they're just such a comforting presence, that when I hold this, I feel that comfort that I feel the few times that I've been around them. So for me, it just makes me feel good. If I'm really upset, I'll just hold it. I'll take it out from under my pillow and just hold on to it. And I immediately feel like someone's giving me a big hug. So that's always really cool. So then you can also have crystals that you don't really have an actual purpose, but just make you feel good, like a Lemurian quartz. This one actually has a personality within it, so I've never programmed it. I actually bought it because of the energy in it, and I just keep it in my bedroom. It's kind of feisty, so I think I liked it because I was like, well, if I was a crystal, this would be me. So that's kind of like. And I think over time, if you really want to connect with the crystal and work with it, it will kind of show, if you have one of those that have its own persona, it'll show you how to work with it and what that persona is. But for me, it's really just kind of like when you want to have friends around you that resonate with you, that understand you. It's kind of the same thing with having certain crystals that you just connect with. Same with this fluorite piece. I keep this at my desk in my office. It helps me concentrate. I'm not really sure if that's what fluoride is supposed to do, but that's what it does for me. Is if I'm, you know, really helps me to hone in. And my main job is in the finance world, so I need to be on, I need to be paying attention, and I need to catch all of the details. And this helps me to do that. This helps me to really focus and train in on what I'm doing and not get distracted by other stuff. And this one is another one that that is really good with clarity of mind. This is a celestite. These are also good for angels and for communicating with angels. So if you're new to that, if you're learning how to channel them or speak with them or wanting to connect with them and work with them, bringing this around will also help you with that as well. So you can use crystals to kind of control or enhance the type of energy and vibrations you want to have in your space. And then some of them you can use to clear that energy also, in the case of the selenite and the tourmaline. So they can be used both ways, to enhance what's already there and then to clear out what is not wanted. So I hope that all of this helps, and I will see you soon. Bye.